All right. Shalom. All glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakwadash, Barakatham, to the elect. All right. Starting with double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. All right. Who we know through the Spirit and through the trying of their faith and proven through Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai that they are the elders and the apostles, man. Okay. So double honors to these men. And then honors and salutations, blessings, and peace to the elect that do the work of the Lord. And then the believing on Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, remaining steadfast. All right, even as you see on the screen, retaining their integrity to the very end. All right. There's Yakawa. Want to go into another topic. Yesterday, man, I put a video up about, just basically just being circumspect, examining yourself. And so, excuse me, man. And so I just wanted to add on to that topic today. Started with myself as usual, man. When brothers make videos, man, we just got to make sure that, they're working on that same aspect that they're talking about, or that same topic that they're making. They're also as well working on it themselves. All right, because we walk in a time where we're working on mastering these things, so that when we get into the kingdom, we're perfect. Which we already know the law. Or not, excuse me, we already know the Lord is going to put the laws into our mind when we're in the kingdom, man. So when we come into the kingdom, when you're born, all right, when you come, speaking to a 2/3, when they come back, they're going to already have that programming put into them. So they're never going to go off, all right? The scriptures tell us, man, that Israel would never go off again, all right? But in this time, all right, under the mercy and grace of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, we work daily to make sure that we can execute proper judgment. All right, because we're working to become a king again. All right. So just want to get into a couple of scriptures, just an encouragement. All right. We know we ain't perfect, man, but we strive daily to be perfect. All right. In fact, there's one in Second Timothy's. Yep. 2 Timothy's 2 and 5, it says, and if a man strive for masteries, Salakin. I actually started 2 Timothy's 2 and 3. It says, now thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh HaMashiach. All right. Why are we enduring hardness, though? Because, the word endure means to make hard against or to become strong against. All right. And the scriptures tell you that the truth endures against all things, meaning it's hard against all things, it overcomes. But it says that we got to endure hardness. We got to become hard against it, because the things that we're doing, they're hard things to attain unto or to obtain. Again, the lesson I made yesterday, I was going into about how your whole life you've been going off, man, and before you came into the truth. So it's not an easy thing to just overnight become a king or to overnight be cleansed. It's a process, and it can be tedious, especially if you're not rooting and grounding yourself in the things that you need to be rooting yourself in. Then you can end up flopsiding in this truth. All right. So the Yahweh Shai, the apostles, man, are always admonishing us, man, to be a good soldier, man. Be strong, be diligent, be vigilant, be strong, basically. All right. But it says again, thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. No man that warreth, entangling himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier, right? That he may please him. And learning in the side of the world, man, we know that this whole world lies in wickedness. So there are things that you may dabble in, or you may encounter or come into contact with. That's cool. But if it jeopardizes your salvation, we already know that that's something that you retract yourself from, and then you abstain from. Okay. In fact, there's actually a scripture about that where I think who was it? I think it's in Peter's, if I'm not mistaken. If it was Peter, or if it was right here, First Peter's 2 and 11. Dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lust, because we already know, man, this world is run by the flesh. And we got to do what we got to do, right? But if it jeopardizes you or if it puts you at risk, we know to abstain, pull yourself out of that situation, which that goes back into 2 Timothy's, man. Utilizing the tools that you've been given so that you can do what you got to do as a servant, as a friend of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, as a soldier, as a fighter for Yahweh Shem Yahushua. I'll say it like that. Okay? And that's why I actually had this scripture pulled up in 1 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians 15:58 says, therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. If you keep your eye on the prize, right? If you keep your eye on the prize, you won't be blindsided. You won't be caught off guard. All right. If you're constantly being aware and diligent and circumspect of your surroundings and of your own spirit, it'll make these temptations and these lusts and these drawing aways, these demons and these other people, your daily trials, they're gonna have a hard time knocking you down. So, man, I say this, man, as humbly as I can possibly say it, man, because again, man, I deal with these problems, man, on a daily basis. The brotherhood, man, they deal with these things on a daily basis, man. These things are knocking the hell out of us, man. But when you get to that low point, man, you got to remember that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is the one who's looking out for you, and you got to believe that He can restore you. Okay, because again, therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. And here's the point: for as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord, that's why you don't want to give up in the end. All right, because you remember who you're doing this for. And your mind can convict you, man. Your mind will convict you. If you're a real, true man of the Lord, your mind is going to convict you, man, of your slackness, of your laziness, or of your distractions, or becoming distracted or off focus. All right. And so it's something in the spirit. Well, that's what it is. The spirit will, basically turn a light bulb on. Ding. Hey, come back, refocus, recenter yourself. And we already know, man, through the scriptures, man, and you got what is that? In 1 Corinthians, the 13th chapter, the Lord already knows what you're going through, man. And He's the one who's allowing you to go through these things because He knows you'll come out of it. And that's only on your part, to believe as well, man. You must believe that the Lord is helping and working and doing these things to mold you. Okay. So let me get this in 1 Corinthians 9. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and 24. It says, know you not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize. So run that you may obtain. But how do we run? Always abounding in the work of the Lord, always abounding in the oracles of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And the scriptures, and I've made previous videos about this, but when you look in that word obtain, all right, let's see if it says it on here. I can't remember if I looked it up on here or on Etymology Online. But when you look at the word obtain, it says to lay hold of so as to make one's own, to obtain, to attain to, take possession of. There's another one. There's another added on definition. I'll go ahead and see if I can get it in Google. Let me see. To get, acquire. All right, I'm not able to find it, but going into that word obtain, as I was saying, man, it actually means to acquire by any means necessary. Okay, so that's what Yahweh Shah is telling you, man, in this faith, man, that whatever way you must obtain it by, that you must obtain this prize, do it. And there's only one way that we can obtain this prize, and it's through the truth in the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So when I was making the lesson I did make yesterday, I didn't really go over that verse in Ezekiel, the 44th chapter. It tells you that when you make a judgment or discernment or a calculated decision, you must do it according to Yahweh Shem Yahushua's ways. So this whole point is just to tell you, man, that when you're evaluating yourself, when you're doing anything, man, as long as you have this name, as long as you have the names and this truth, man, do it all for Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Do it all in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And remember whose ways these are. Yahweh Why Yahweh Shai's. Okay? So let me get one more. In 2 Corinthians chapter 4. I'll start at 2 Corinthians 4:13. It says, we have in the same spirit of faith. And again, everybody that's a great millstone, man, and that acknowledges and believes in Yahweh Shem Shai, we all acknowledge, man, that we all have the same understanding. All right. As far as the doctrine. All right. So we have in the same spirit of faith, according as it is written, I believed and therefore have I spoken. We also believe and therefore we speak. Knowing that he which raised up the Lord Yahweh Shai shall raise up us also by Yahweh Shai, and shall present us with you. And as long as you do what you got to do, you properly, moderating and balancing yourself in your life. And if you do have lapses, you do have faith that you can come back and you can get yourself in order, then you'll be presented with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Yahweh Shai is going to look at you in the last days and speak your name. All right, speak the name that you were given, and he's going to crown you. Okay? But it can only be done, man, if you are taking the necessary steps that you need to in this thing to get your mind right. All right, James the 5th chapter tells you, man, that you that daily you got to establish your heart. That to establish basically means to ground and root. All right, get it in order. All right, so yeah, man. But 2 Corinthians 4:15 says, "For all things are for your sakes, that the abundant grace might, through the thanksgiving of many, redound to the glory of Yahweh. For which cause we faint not, but though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day." So just the whole point is that just make sure again that you're walking daily, always being circumspect and evaluating yourself, examining yourself, because let me see if I spelled it right. Because again, man, it's very important that you walk with the good head on your shoulders, man. Because if not, the Lord, he ain't gonna look at you, man. All right, he ain't gonna deal with you. If you ain't according to his will and pleasure, then you don't get with a woman you don't want to be with, right? And we know that the Lord is bringing back his woman that he had pleasure in, man. The parts we already know that through the destruction of the 2/3, but the keeping of the 1/3, which is the 144,000, and that last 1/3 part of Israel, they are the part of the woman of Israel that the Lord wants to preserve and keep, which is why he's reserving us, right? He's preserving us. But the 2/3 is that ugly part of the woman, the whole part, that slutty part of the woman that he don't want. So the only part he's going to keep is that good and just part, right? So if you ain't part of that, if you ain't bringing the qualities and the traits of that woman, then he has no need to be with you, right? And Apostle Gabar made an excellent point about knowing the names. If you don't know the name of your own husband, why are you going to marry him? And if the Lord don't know your name, why is he going to marry you? All right. So 2 Corinthians 13:5 says, "Examine yourselves whether you be in the faith." This is a daily process, man, a daily thing, being renewed daily. Examine yourself whether you be in the faith. Yahweh Shai tells you, man, how much evil each day holds. So that's the next day is another day of evil you got to get through, and make sure that it hasn't subverted or obscured your process of thinking. It says, "Prove your own selves." All right. Make sure that what you're doing is proper according to the morals of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. It says, "Know you not," and we already know we have teachers, we have guiders, we have guides to make sure that what we're doing or thinking or how we're walking is good. All right. It says, "Know you not your own selves, how the Yahweh Shai Mashiach is in you, except you be reprobates." And if you're just being just lewd and dissolute, all right, and you be just being idle as hell, then yeah, okay, question it hard. But if you walk in this thing daily, man, and you trying to your best, man, there's nothing to fear. It shouldn't be nothing to fear, and you just need to hold on to that hope. But every man of this faith, we already know it's a daily thing. Okay, it's a daily process. You could be walking well there 3/4 of the day, and all of a sudden some weird ass temptational thought comes into your mind, throws you off. So again, man, just more encouragement. Nothing too big, man. But Lord willing, this was edifying. Lord willing, it's an encouraging message. But I'm gonna go ahead and end it. I want to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace, love, honors, and blessings to the elect. All right, for holding fast the faith. And Yahweh Ba'ashem Yashab Rakatham, Kwam Mashallah Shalom.